You know, during all the social unrest, you kind of saw this kind of building up on social media. And Dr. Henning is actually who reached out to me to ask if it was something that we thought we should do. And obviously my answer was of course. And it was nice to just have the support from the people to make it happen quickly, because we got it organized really, really quickly.
I was reading, it happened to show up on my social media feed that nationwide there was going to be a White Coats for Black Lives kneel down. And so when I saw that, I was like instantly emailed people and was like, we need to do this here.
I had seen in social media that multiple different campuses were hosting something, but I didn't know we were going to have it here at OU-Tulsa. And then I was told by multiple faculty members and approached by Dr. Pasha, who actually asked me, he's like, hey, would you like to be a part of this?
Last summer was very meaningful. It was a way for everyone on our campus, staff, faculty, students, residents, administrators, to come together to recognize the events that had happened during last summer and before, and to make a statement together that this was something that we cared deeply about.
Just the length of time that we were kneeling in the grass and thinking about what had happened to George Floyd, it was heartbreaking.
To be in that heat, kneeling in the sun, you know, it made it more impactful about what to think about how it was for like George Floyd, who was unable to breathe, and like it kind of really hit home how long it actually was.
I think in general there's just a deep sadness with everything that was going on. I think that's the most overwhelming emotion. But actually during the event, there was, I think, a sense of hope. There were so many people who were supportive, people that you know, people that you don't know.
It was really nice to see how many folks had really shown up. Some of whom had driven way across town just to be with us on campus during that time, and it was really I think it was really powerful in a lot of ways.
It was such a mix of emotions because I was upset. I was at the same time humbled, at the same time, sad, at the it was just a big jumble of emotions.
And when we stood up, I really felt like a lot of what I needed to do. I felt really invigorated about where my passions were, what I wanted to do with my career, which is to make sure that we're addressing some of these injustices.
We've been working very hard since last summer on these topics. We have 2 assistant deans working out of the dean's office on coordinating our efforts in diversity, inclusion, and equity. Again, a group of faculty, residents, students, staff, and these 2 assistant deans are working on developing a racial justice report card for our campus, which is going to indicate areas that we can work on and areas where we have accomplished things.
They formed a task force, which I'm a part of, and we're just really tackling some of the issues that African Americans face in this country. One of those is criminal justice. We're working on recruitment of people in underrepresented minorities, and just really trying to bridge the gap between the people that are suffering and those in power that can help.
We developed out of the task force as something, we'll call it a book club. It's a little bit more than a book club, and we call it inclusive conversations. And not only are we discussing books, but we're just going to be discussing movies and podcasts and articles. And I think it just creates a space where people can feel comfortable to ask questions that they may have been uncomfortable asking.
The biggest change is there's been just an increased interest and conversation. I think that as a part of my career, I really never expected to be in this position to be talking about racism and its impact on health. And that conversation has just opened up, I would say, in the last 6 to 9 months, to the point where people are asking specifically, how do we talk about this?
This is important work. The work has just begun. It begins with listening. We all need to listen to the lives that other people have lived that they can tell us about. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to work in all aspects of our operations as a school to make sure that we create a campus and a school of community medicine that is welcoming to everyone.